Canon. You were so close. So close to the perfect camera. Why did you have to limit your recording times? I don't get it. Let's talk about it. So the Canon EOS R5 and R6, probably the most talked about cameras in recent time, and unfortunately they do not seem to be that great for video use. And I'll tell you why. I've already seen the specs and I've already seen the problems that these cameras have. I'm gonna talk about this because Canon is known to do this a lot of time. They never really say what the problems that the camera has, or in this case the cameras have. So it's up to people and real reviewers, not the ambassadors, because those people don't tell you anything. It's up to the reviewers, the true reviewers that really test cameras, to tell you this stuff. So apparently the EOS R5 and the EOS R6 have overheating problems. Now, why is this a big deal? It's a big deal because Canon, especially with the R5, was targeting this camera so much for video shooters with all the it's 8K and stuff like that. They were targeting it so much for the video, and now the cameras seem to overheat. So I have actually some specs right here with the recording times via Tech Radar. So right here for the Canon EOS R5, so 8K 30p. It's limited to 20 minutes, then it's gonna overheat, and then you're gonna have to wait 10 minutes, I believe, if you want to record again. Then you have 15 minutes for 4K 120, 35 for 4K 60. 4K 30 is not limited by heat, but it does have the dreaded 29-59 minutes, and the 8K 30, which is oversampled, as 30 minutes. Now, why is this a big deal? Like I said, for Canon to really promote the R5 as a video-centric camera, this really sucks, because people who want to record concerts and interviews and stuff like that, first of all, the overheating is going to be a problem, because you will not be able to really record everything that you want. You're going to have to wait for the camera to cool down, and this is because Canon didn't add a fan to the body. They choose to keep it fanless in the small compact size. Why is that? I really do not know. Why didn't Canon use a cooling system like the Panasonic S1H? I mean, this was more than obvious that the camera would overheat, right? It was more than obvious that the camera would overheat. Now, I do not really have a problem with the 8K because I don't care about the 8K, but 1080p being limited to 29:59, that really sucks, because that's not going to be beneficial for people like me who do a lot of concerts recordings and long recording sessions, especially for YouTube, for example. I hate it when people say that you don't really need unlimited recording. Then how are you going to do a podcast type of video, for example? How are you going to do a concert? You're going to have to keep on pushing the button like I always have to do with my Nikon. That really sucks. I wish Canon would finally have stopped with this dreaded old 29:59 record limit. This really sucks. I know it was because of a European tax law, but that law is already expired, so there's really no point anymore for these cameras to have this stupid dreaded limited recording time. I really hate that. The Sonys right now are offering unlimited recording, the newest ones. Why are Canon still offering limited recording? I don't know. That's really the biggest problem I have with this camera. Like I said, I don't really care for the 8K. I don't even care about the 4K. For all I care, I only record in 1080p. All I want is a camera with good autofocus, good 1080p quality, unlimited recording, and awesome autofocus and low light ability. This camera, unfortunately, the R5 and the R6, these cameras have limited recording, so that really sucks. Also, the R6 is even more crippled in this regard compared to the R5. For 4K 60, you can only shoot up to 30 minutes. Then you're gonna have to wait for the camera to cool down. And 4K 30p, you can record for 40 minutes at max. Then you're gonna have to wait again for the camera to cool down. Now, the R6, which is supposed to be the low resolution, it is the low resolution camera should have been the most suited to video. It's actually the most compromised one. Not only does it have the same 2959 limit, it also loses the 4K 120. I don't know why it doesn't have 4K 120. It also doesn't have 1080p 120. I don't know why. You also can't record to both cards. This is true for both cameras, so you can't record for both cards. I don't know why. Like I said, I mean, Canon was targeting these cameras so much for video, and then they do stuff like this. I really don't get it, Canon. Why did you do this? These cameras are pretty much near perfect, especially the R6. The R6 20 megapixels is more than enough for most people. I don't really care for the high resolution. I only care for low light capability. That's what's most important for video, not the high resolution. That's only mostly for the 8K, but then again, most people will not be using these cameras for the 8K because the file sizes are pretty huge. I mean, of course you're gonna have people who are gonna use the 8K, but then again, for the most consumers, it's gonna be overkill, especially for editing, because it's gonna be very stressing on the PC. But the R6, for example, they could have thrown out the recording limit. It still has the 2959 record limit, and that really sucks. If it didn't have the recording limit, this camera would be pretty awesome. It would probably be the most perfect camera for people who do a lot of event shooting like me, and concerts, film concerts, interviews, do YouTube, like to take photos in low light, stuff like that. It will be probably the most perfect camera until probably the A7S III, but we're gonna be talking about that in the future as well. I'm gonna be talking about that camera as well, so stay on the lookout for that. Yeah, like I was saying, the R5 and the R6, for cameras that were so targeted for video, this really seems to be a compromise. I mean, really, the recording limit really sucks. The overheating is beyond stupid. Why did he not add a bigger body, or a fan is beyond me? But then again, this is Canon. Now, before someone comes here and says that I'm a Canon hater, I actually don't hate Canon. I used to hate them, but I actually like the RF mount. I like the RF cameras actually. And like I was saying, the R6 and the R5, if they didn't have the recording limit, they will be really interesting for me, especially the R6. I don't care for the R5, but the R6 is really nice. It's unfortunately here in Portugal, it's kind of overpriced. It's almost $3,000, or should I say 3,000 euros almost for the body only for the R6. So right here the prices are pretty much more expensive than in the United States and the other countries in the world. So even if it had unlimited recording, I still wouldn't probably wouldn't buy it, because it's still very expensive for my use case. But again, the limited recording really sucks, and I wish Canon can address this in the future. I know they have a cinema line of cameras to protect, but again, it's not really that hard. Like I still think people would still buy the cinema cameras, the C100 series, the C300s, the C500s. People will still buy those cameras because those cameras offer things that these cameras do not offer. So people will still get those cameras. It's not because of the limited recording. I really do not want to pay at the minimum 500 euros or so for a recorder just to have a limited recording. That I need. I don't care for the 8K and stuff like that. I don't care for the 4K. I just wish these cameras would at least have unlimited 1080p video. That's all I really want, is 1080p unlimited, like the Panasonic GH5 and the Sony's, the newer one, like the 6400, 6600, 6100 and the A7R4 II. I don't know why Canon didn't finally take this out. This was the best opportunity for them to take out the limited recording, but unfortunately these cameras still have the limited recording, and so they no longer interest me any bit whatsoever. If they can fix this via firmware update, that's gonna be nice, but I really doubt they're gonna take away the limited recording. So unfortunately, for real professional use, I don't see these cameras being really appealing. Now, if you're gonna be filming short clips and stuff like that, like on a gimbal for example, if you're gonna do short clips, like sometimes I do for the music videos, for example, for cosplay music videos, for example, I only film for some seconds. That's gonna be more than enough. Now, these cameras for those people are pretty much perfect, but for those times when I need to record long sessions, concerts and stuff, it's really a deal breaker having that dreaded 2959 limit. And I really hate when people say that, oh, when it's the time then you're gonna need unlimited recording. People say that because they have never had an opportunity or an occasion to record concerts and stuff. For example, I tend to do a lot of recordings of concerts and concerts and stuff like that, which require a lot of filming of over 1 hour, for example. So it really sucks if these cameras at least had like 50 minutes or something like that, like 1 hour. I will take that. 1 hour, okay, because it's not all the time that I need over 1 hour. But 30 minutes, still the 2959 limit. The European tax law, like I said, has already expired. It's no longer active, so there's no reason anymore for them to cripple these cameras like that. Okay, they overheat, okay, but they don't overheat in 1080p, I don't think. I mean, do they overheat in 1080p? No. So why not offer unlimited 1080p video? I don't know why. But again, I wish Canon can finally address this in the future, because the RF lenses are pretty great. Like I have said many times in my videos, the RF glass is pretty amazing, and I really wish finally Canon will stop crippling their cameras when it comes to the recording limit. So I'm still gonna have to wait for either a new Panasonic or the Sony A7S II successor or the A7 IV, unfortunately, because Canon still have the dreaded limited recording of 2959. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Sorry for being a little bit unstable here and there. I'm trying not to make the videos too long. If you like the video, leave a like. If you don't like it, dislike. I don't care really. I just wish Canon can finally address this. I really want to I'm really mad about this, and I really want to take it out of my chest, because this is really bad for the professional video shooters and people who are hoping for these cameras to have finally unlimited recording and no overheating issues. So unfortunately, there's that. Let's hope for the A7S II is not like this. The rumors I've already seen, it's already been confirmed pretty much. It's gonna have unlimited recording. I think it's also gonna have a fan, so it's not gonna overheat. But I think it's not gonna have a quad band sensor, unfortunately. So for those hybrid shooters, it's not gonna cut it for photography. I don't know. We're still gonna have to wait for the true specs. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. If you like my work and want to support me, be sure to subscribe to the channel and stay up to date when I release new content by hitting the notification bell. Visit my channel if you want to see more camera talk videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one when I go over some Sony rumors as well. So thank you guys for watching, and UNHOLY-OMEGA signing out. Be safe and see you on the next one.